Hello, everyone. I am Sean, and once again, welcome to my Horror Corner. As always, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you tuning in today. I know there's all kinds of stuff out there that you could be watching, so the fact that you take a little bit of time to watch my channel, listen to me, really does mean a lot to me. So thank you all so very much for that. Today, I am super excited. I'm also honored to have some new guests on for the first time. Ken, and I know his wife is roaming around there somewhere. Ashley from Sledgehammer Horror.
She's being mom here for a second. She's on her
Hey,
way
I
back. The
totally
kids saw the
understand.
studio light was on, so they knew they couldn't. So she's back though.
No, that is perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. It means a lot to
Absolutely.
us.
So, we're going to be talking about child's play. But before we get into that, take a minute to, I mean, I'm sure anybody that is familiar with my channel already knows who you are, but just in case there's somebody out there that doesn't, take a minute to promote your channel and talk about what you guys do.
You always look at me. We're
Ladies first, man.
we're Sledgehammer Horror, a couple that loves to talk about horror with anybody.
And actually, today, at the release of this episode, October 20th, it is our wedding anniversary. So,
Oh, well, happy
happy
anniversary.
anniversary.
That is awesome. I like how that
We've
worked
been,
out.
yeah, we've been together 20 years. Got together in high school,
Yeah, that's
and
the one thing that.
we bonded over horror. Man.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
our first date was to go see Tom Cruise's War of the
World.
Worlds. You know,
Yep.
totally horror adjacent, and
Yeah.
we just have been best friends. And
It's something he kind of started it, and then asked me to be a part of it. And at first, I really wasn't into it. Like I don't. I'm more of the introvert of the relationship, and I didn't feel comfortable on camera. And he was like, well, like he really wanted us to do this together, and I feel like
Well,
I've gotten better.
the
But
reason why is because one, I have all the faith and trust in the world in my wife.
Sure.
She's brilliant and she's great, and I want the world to see that. And two, she kept coming to me with these great ideas, like didn't see that coming, and I was like, yeah, I'll do these if you do them with me. And so that's when we ended up delaying it forever because she wouldn't do it.
well, I was like, I'll do it, and then
She'd back out.
I'd back out. Yeah, and it took me forever to really like give it my all. And then like the first episode that we ever did, I was mad at him. I was like, I suck at this, and I was like, why are you making me do this?
Well, I've been in front of the camera our whole life. Like we
Yeah.
did audio video production in school.
I was always behind.
She was always behind the scenes,
And I was fine
director
with that.
stuff, and I was always
Right.
man, always in front of the camera. And that's our dynamic. Our dynamic is, I've always been more of the front man, so to speak, and she's more of the writer. Anything you see scripted on Sledgehammer Horror, whether it's a didn't see that coming, a review, whatever, she wrote it. If it's scripted, Ashley wrote it. I
Okay.
have no problems saying that. I've never read a script before. We put it up, we push record, and we go. And sometimes I laugh out loud as
Yeah.
I'm reading her script, because she's just brilliant. And so, yeah, it was one of those things where I was just like, I'm doing this and I'm having a great time with Sledgehammer Horror, but I really think you could be, a catalyst to make it better. And she was. She made it. I feel like Sledgehammer Horror really started to take off when Ashley came into the picture. I feel like she really brought this dynamic to it, both in front and behind the camera. Because even before she came on, she didn't do anything behind. It was all me doing everything.
Yeah.
And we're able now to bounce ideas off each other, and we've been together long enough and trust each other long enough to where if one of us has a bad idea, the other one will be like,
Yeah.
we don't hurt each other's feelings. We're not aggressive or mean about it, but it's like, hey,
Like
that's
sucks.
that's not gonna work. But it is what it is at this point, and we both have a lot of fun doing it, and it's a blast, and I get to work with my best friend every day.
Yeah,
So
and we've had a lot of great opportunities. We've
Yeah.
got to go on a lot of cool trips, and it's so much fun. And the community is so great. And
Perfect.
yeah,
The perfect community.
We love being a part of this community.
Oh, I completely agree. That's one of the biggest things to me is the horror community. If it hadn't have been for finding the horror community, I probably wouldn't be doing this YouTube channel. I mean, I was kind of I think I was just looking for something. I mean, I had always been a horror fan, but I had no idea there was a horror community on social media. I didn't know. I had listened to like true crime podcasts. I didn't know there were horror movie podcasts. I didn't know there were horror movie YouTube channels. And then I had a Twitter account, but I very seldom ever used it. And then one day I was on Twitter and I don't know, some hashtag had caught my attention. And then I ended up coming across Brendan and Sam,
Yeah.
Our Life in
they're
Horror.
great.
Our Our Life in Horror.
Yeah. And so then I ended up looking up their podcast and started listening to it. That just started changing everything. They're actually the ones that encouraged me to start doing something. And so, yeah, then I started the YouTube channel, but I thought the same thing. To be honest, I still think the same thing. Every time I record an episode, afterwards, I'm like, man, I suck at this. But, I just keep going, keep trying.
I think we're always our own worst critic.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely am.
I go back now even, and I watch like some of our
cringe,
earlier episodes, and I'm like, oh my God, why did anybody watch?
Yes.
And the goal, honestly, is in 2 years to watch some episodes I do now and think the same thing. You always want, as a creator, for your next episode to be your best episode.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And I feel like you're always trying to push forward. So if you're not looking back at your old stuff and feeling a little bit of cringe or embarrassment, you're probably not doing it right. You always want to grow. You always want to succeed. You always want to get better. So that's something that I think I'm very proud of Sledgehammer Horror for. I think we're constantly evolving, constantly trying new things, and constantly getting better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think, sometimes it's hard to be, because you mentioned you're your own worst critic, but I don't think sometimes we're even the best judge of our own content, because I know I've put out videos before and, I get them done, I get them put up, and I'm like, okay, that one's going to be big. That one's going to be a hit. Like that. We killed that episode. I know we did. And then, the views are kind of minimal. And then I put out something else and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if that one hits. And that one blows up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Some of the episodes that I'm the most proud of on Sledgehammer Horror have done, like the Tucker and Dale versus Evil, didn't see that coming, is one of my favorite things we've ever done. I think that episode is so funny, and it's like I go back and rewatch it sometimes, and I'm like, why didn't people watch this episode? Like, it's so good. Like I love it because, like I said, my wife writes it, and so like when I'm doing it, I'm learning a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm learning a lot of the stuff as I'm reading it because I trust her. I don't proofread anything my wife does. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So like I'm reading it as I'm going, and that episode to me just turned out so good. It turned out so damn good, and I wish it would have done better. Just because I never hope for views. I hope to build a community, but that's one that I really wish people would watch because I thought it was so good.
So you mentioned that Ashley does all the writing, and we will get to Child's Play, I promise. But you mentioned that Ashley does the writing. So did you write the script for the like the short film that you guys did here recently that I got to watch?
No, that was all Fear Monopoly.
Yeah, Fear Monopoly Productions.
I said Fear Monopoly. Fearopoly.
Yeah, Michelle Hansen, she wrote that. We just
acted.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We were hired to act in the short.
But together we have written a couple of movies. Like that, it's not all me.
Yeah, Home is Where the Haunt Is was a little bit of a mix of both of us.
Yeah.
Just because that one was that was
you.
very personal to me.
Okay.
Because it was really about the encapsulation of the death of my mother and the struggles I went through afterwards. So that was a lot me, but Ashley kind of was like the proofreader of that one. Like, hey, let's change this line or let's change this location. Your mom would never say anything like that. Let's get that out of there.
I just feel like I am
the final boss.
No, not the final boss. I'm more like the one that keeps it all together.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of all over the place, and I got to bring you back in a little bit.
I'm definitely more spontaneous.
Yes,
and she's got to reel me
I'm
in.
the one that's like making notes, and I have my checklist, and we're so opposite in everything we do.
Yes,
everything.
I'm spontaneous, and she's like script. Even when we're recording, if you ever watch, guys, we're gonna break the fourth wall for a second. If you're ever watching an interview or anything like that, and you see Ashley's arm do this. She's slapping me in the leg, and she's getting me to come back into reality. Like come on,
let's reel it back in.
Bring it back.
Let's reel it back in.
That's it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now you guys can watch for that in interviews or reviews or whatever. You just watch Ashley's left arm. If you see it,
that is funny.
Leg, you know what time it is.
That's so funny. Very cool.
Look at your leg.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like to hear stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to be looking for that next time now. Yeah, I have to keep myself reeled in. But, you were talking about how personal that one that you did, the one film there that you did was to you. That's, I think, one of the things that's amazed me the most just from getting involved in this type of thing and being part of the horror community is how much comfort. I don't think people outside it understand how much comfort we can get from horror. It probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But, I lost my mom 3 years ago. I lost my dad last year. And yes, I've had, family and friends that have been there for me, and I greatly appreciate that. But it just amazes me how much comfort I get from the horror community, or even just watching movies. You know, when I was a little
Mm-hmm.
kid, I wanted to start watching horror movies because of my dad.
Yeah.
And so just having that now, I've told people before, you know, like people talk about comfort movies, and I'm like, oh yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, and they're like, what? That's a comfort movie, and I'm like, absolutely.
It really
But
is.
yeah, it's very cool the way that works to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the community is so damn supportive.
Yeah, they're supportive, and I
Um,
feel like they're just like genuine, like they
they
care
love each
about
other.
people,
Yeah, and I
and
think it's because we're all fucking weird.
yeah.
The whole
That might
community
be
is
We're
it.
so weird
well. I mean,
that we're our own little island of misfit toys.
even us, like when we were growing up, like
We were
to
fucking
be a
weird.
horror fan was weird in our little town, and
Sure.
so like now that there's this huge community of, and I'm like, these are my people,
Yeah.
like
Right.
We're our own island of misfit toys, and we look out for each other
Yeah.
because we love each other. And I
Yeah.
think, like the Sledgehammer horror community is the way it's built is just built on love and affection and kindness and empathy, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that our community is intertwined with Sean's Horror Corner, with that our life in horror,
The
with
horror
that horror
couple,
couple.
yeah.
Right.
You see a lot of the same people going around and moderating these channels and supporting these channels, and when you can see that you're building this network of communities of all the same loving and caring people,
Yeah.
it's so rad. Like it's
Right.
overwhelming sometimes, to see how rad it gets. And I get to work with my friends, you, Brendan and Sam, Rob and Kaylee. Like I work with people that I genuinely idolize, respect, and look up to, and you're my friends. Like it's
Right.
awesome, like everybody has their own niche, and when we get
Yeah.
to work with each other, it's so rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about that very same thing with Brendan and Sam and with Robbie and Kaylee before. How we just we this may be the way we met, and we may have never been around each other in person, but yeah, they're my friends. Like they're some of my
Yeah.
best friends. I mean, I talk to them more, not just through doing our channels, but through group texts and messages and
Yeah.
things like that. Than I probably do people that I see personally every day. But
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. They're my people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another thing to me that's so awesome. Like the minute that you worked with Rob and Kaylee, like you guys got off, and Rob called me, like, "Hey, I got this guy. I think you should." Like that's what our communities do
Yeah.
with each other.
Right.
Rob called me right away, like, "Hey, his name's Sean. It's Sean's Horror Corner. You should definitely bring him on your show." And right away, I got a hold of you. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Right.
Rob recommended you. I want you on the show. I trust
Yeah.
him. And Rob's like, my brother.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he really is. Like we talk all the time. And again, he's somebody I love and admire, and
And it's crazy, like we've just seen him through, a video. So
yeah,
I,
I've never
like,
gotten to, I've
met
never got to
them.
hold him in person yet. I can't wait until that day. I'm
But,
gonna carry him around like my little child, like my
but
Right.
little
like you
Robbie.
said, Sean, it feels like like we've known them forever. Like
Yeah.
they're, even though we've never actually met in person, like it's still like
It
you,
feels
you
like-
know what kind of person they
Right.
are, and yeah.
You, just a quick question before we go any further, because you're talking about the relationship that you have there with Robbie. Did you know how obsessed he was with Tom Savini?
Yes.
See, I
Yes.
I mean, I knew he liked Tom Savini. I didn't know how much. I just had an episode come out on my channel on Friday the 13th, and I swear he got us over for probably 20 minutes. We talked about Tom Savini's abs. Instead of Friday the 13th, like we were supposed to be talking about. But yeah, he
That's
just kept going on about Tom Savini's abs.
Well,
And
at
I
least
kept
you guys
trying
were
to reel
talking
him
about
back
the
in,
real
but
stuff.
Yeah, that's funny.
yeah, it was funny. All right. We'll get ready to get into Child's Play, but I want to ask you this before we get started. And, you guys, we talked before I started recording about y'all will come back with me, and eventually we'll get through this whole franchise. So by the time we get to the end, things may have changed. But before we get even started, now that the TV series is over, I've heard talks about another movie coming eventually. What would you like to see next from Chucky Universe?
I would like to see the end of the show continued in a movie and get some real closure on those characters.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
I feel the same. I love those characters in the TV show. Like we watched it for 3 seasons. We fell in love with them. Like I really do feel I want closure for sure. Yeah.
Right.
And while I wasn't like the biggest fan of season 2 and 3, I still feel like
We still sat there.
yeah, we watched every episode.
What does it come out
Yeah.
Wednesdays? Every Wednesday
Yeah.
we were seated to watch it. Like
And so I really think that I would like to get some closure for these characters.
which
I
especially
don't
how
want
it
them to end
ended.
as CGI marionette
Ah,
puppets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid puppets.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's I like I said, I would like to get some type of closure on the characters we had in the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think, and honestly, I have hope that that's what we will get because I feel like, there's a lot of franchises out there, and I'm a huge fan of this franchise. I also like Friday the 13th. I love a Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even Halloween. Sorry, Ken, but even Halloween, I like all that
Yeah.
stuff. But I feel like Child's
Unfortunate.
Play is possibly the best of the franchises as far as the keeping the story going and the continuity. So I feel like based on what we've got from Child's Play in the past, surely that's what they'll give us going forward.
Sure.
Yeah. We're hoping.
All right, we will jump in and get started. I've got a few notes here, so I'll just mention a few things like I always do, and then we'll start talking about some things. But real quick, tagline for the film: "You'll wish it was only make believe." Brief synopsis: everybody knows what Child's Play is about, but an innocent looking doll is inhabited by the soul of a serial killer who refuses to die. Child's Play was released November 9th of 1988, directed by Tom Holland, screenplay by Don Mancini, John Lafia, and Tom Holland, story by Don Mancini, produced by David Kirscher, cinematography by Bill Butler, um, music was done by Joe Renzetti, distributed by MGM and Universal Artists, runtime of 87 minutes, budget of somewhere between 9 and 13 million and over 44 million at the box office. Rotten Tomato score 64% from critics, 65% from the audience, and an IMDb score of 6.7 out of 10. All of these numbers feel low to me, but before we go any farther, um, for this movie, your thoughts on score, story, cinematography?
Me first. I absolutely love the score. It definitely makes it scarier. The story. This is something that really like resonated with me. Like it scared me. Like you don't really know with this first movie. Like is it in his head? Is this doll really evil? You know. And then once you see those batteries like roll underneath the couch and he's still alive, you're like, oh shit. Okay, it really is like Chucky's evil, and this is this evil killer doll. Like, yeah,
They definitely do play with the idea that it's Andy
it.
throughout the
I
first
Yes.
mean,
act.
he has the pajamas on, and his, like his foot's like,
Even when Aunt Maggie,
yeah,
all you don't
when
see, all
she
you see is the hammer.
flies out, yeah,
You just see the hammer hit her.
yeah,
So they definitely toy with the idea that possibly it's Andy,
Right.
doing this stuff. And as a kid, we don't know.
right.
Right.
Well, yeah, your dolls aren't supposed to come alive and kill you, you know. So definitely freaks you out for sure. But yeah, that story, it just felt so like different. Like it was something different. It's not just another like killer doll
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
And it's like you talk about like the cinematography and stuff like that. I think it's great. The score is great. It's not as like well known as say Halloween, Psycho,
Yeah.
Jaws,
But
Jurassic Park.
it still
Right.
definitely enhances it,
Yeah,
and
it's still a great score.
yeah.
Great
Yeah, I think
score.
so too. That's something I was going to mention actually is it not being as well known. And I kind of don't understand why, because personally, I like the score from this first film even better than like the TV series. Like, I love the score. I wish we could
Yeah.
have I kind of wish they would have kept it going through more of the franchise because then maybe it would be as well known, as like Halloween and Jaws and things like that. Because I love this score. I think it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, me too. And you talk about there was no advancements in CGI,
Yeah.
so they used little people in this movie. They used
Right.
practical puppeteering, and it shows. Like you go back
Yeah.
and watch it now, and it holds up so well because there's no CGI.
Right.
If it's a person in a costume, you can tell. If it's puppeteering, you can tell. But it still looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I'm a huge fan of this movie and this franchise in general. It's always been very low CGI. Towards the back end, we've gotten some CGI blood here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid
Pretty
CGI
shitty.
blood,
But this first movie is it's a practical dream.
it's just
and
crazy how many people it takes to run
Operate
Chucky.
one puppet.
Yeah, one
Right.
doll.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right.
And all the work they put into it, I'm fascinated.
I think that's why this franchise has built up the way that it has with the people that are constantly, Don Mancini, he he loves to bring his crew back on top of his
Right.
cast.
Definitely keeps
He has
his
his people
Yeah.
that are always there, and there's always these intertwining parts that are always the same people.
Right.
If Don Mancini loves you, he's gonna get you a job in everything he does forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think that's incredible. That's a testament to the type of man he is.
Well,
I
I
agree.
think for them to want to come back and work for him shows
Exactly.
what kind of a man he is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. And yeah, I agree with you. I think the cinematography is good. I love the story as well because it does feel different. You know, a lot of people that I talk to that really aren't big into horror, um, if Chucky ever gets mentioned or I'm wearing a Chucky shirt or something like that, I hear a lot like Chucky's not scary. That's a doll. But you know, I try, especially now. I mean, having you watch so much horror and you kind of become desensitized a little bit to things that scare you. But I still try to go back and put myself in the situation of the people in the movie. And if you put yourself in that sense, this would be fucking
Yeah.
terrifying.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, do I watch? I mean, I just watched the movie again a couple of days ago. Did I? I've seen it so many times I didn't need to, but I wanted to. You know, any excuse to watch it, I'm fine with. So, I watched it again, and no, it doesn't scare me now. But watching it, I'm like, man, I would hate to be that kid. Like, I would hate to be that little kid. That would be terrifying.
Well, something that made me laugh from season one of the TV show is Jake is fighting with Chucky, and he's like, "You're so much stronger than you look." And Chucky's like, "I've heard that for years." You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah,
they actually put that
Yeah.
into the show, and I think that. And but the thing is, Chucky doesn't. Even in this first movie, he doesn't overpower you.
Right.
He uses what he has at his disposal.
Well,
right,
he can hide. Like
He can hide.
Yeah.
absolutely.
He has some of the most amazing kills, and very rarely is it
jump attack.
him doing it. It's
Yeah.
him
Right.
using something at his disposal to be able to take you out because of his brain. You know, Chucky is. You know, Charles Lee Ray was extremely intelligent, and I will even go as far as to say I think Chucky is the single most recognizable horror villain
Oh.
in all of horror.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
People that don't watch horror, they confuse Michael and Jason with each other.
Right.
You
Sure.
know?
Everyone knows
we've
who Chucky
we've
is.
seen that. We've seen it happen. I think the top three for me, most recognizable, would be Ghostface, which doesn't count because it's always somebody different in the mask. So I think Ghostface is very recognizable.
Pennywise.
It would either be Pennywise or Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because, you know, or and then number one, Chucky.
Yeah.
right.
But I just think that everybody knows Chucky.
Yeah,
Everybody. I
Right.
would even say Art the Clown is starting to get to that level, you know, because he's getting put in video games and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know that he's at the Chucky.
No, he's not
level.
that Chucky's level. No, God, no. But he's getting up there.
Yeah.
He is this
I mean,
generation's
I think,
icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I think Art the Clown is more like for horror lovers. Like I don't see a lot of like normies like into Art the Clown.
Right.
right.
But for Chucky.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that probably goes to it. And I don't have, you know, all the exact dates and things like that. But I feel like, too, looking back, I feel like Chucky's been, I almost want to say the most consistent. There haven't been as big of layoffs between Child's Play, you know, Chucky movies, those kind of things. Other movies, you know, you go years before anything happens in the franchise again. But I feel like between, and there have been a few here and there, but I just think Chucky's been more consistent with all of the different movies. The TV show he stayed there in the limelight, and so that helps as well.
Yeah,
Right. And
absolutely.
it's always been Brad. You know.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what I respected about the Child's Play remake is they didn't try to do the Ade Dewey Dembele.
I think they knew that they were never gonna
yeah.
replace Brad Dourif.
It was Chucky, but it wasn't Charles Lee Ray.
Right.
It was
Right.
not Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Right.
If they, we'll get into that when we eventually get.
Yeah,
to the
when we
remake.
get to
No, well,
2019, we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
but
one.
throughout the actual Child's Play franchise of Brad Dourif, of Don Mancini, it's always been Brad.
Yeah.
It's the same
Right.
voice, it's the same character,
And I love how his daughter is a part of it
Yeah,
now.
Fiona's in it.
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
So amazing.
and she looks so much like her
she
dad.
does.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, that's funny because when I was getting ready to bring you guys on, I kept having little thoughts. I was like, I want to ask him this about the remake, and I want to ask him this, and I'm like, we'll get there. Let's not overdo it yet. But
Yeah.
I definitely, once we do get there, I definitely am curious about your thoughts on some things there. But I'll just mention a few members of the cast real quick. Catherine Hicks, of course, Chris Sarandon, Alex Vincent. We've been talking about Brad Dourif. What are your thoughts on the cast, first of all, in general, and then the characters in the film?
You want to go first?
You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love this cast. I think that Alex Vincent is such a great child actor. Yeah, he has his slip ups in the movie. When you
I
have
feel
his
like he
little
was
ass
so cute though that it
putting
like
the
didn't.
butter on the
Yeah.
bread on the toast, he has a big ass lob of butter, and he's running with his little pajamas,
Yeah.
and then him and his mom are cuddling in the bed. Like you really
Right.
feel like that
Like
love between the two of them. And man, when he's in that hospital and he goes down the door and he's crying,
Yes.
like, oh, your heart shatters at that moment. Like, this little boy is so fucking adorable. And Alex Vincent is a very nice guy.
yeah.
We've gotten to meet him at a couple conventions. Extremely nice guy. Love Chris Sarandon.
Yeah.
What it's so hard for me as a kid to trust him because I had seen him in Fright Night.
Fright Night. Yeah.
I saw him in The Princess Bride.
Right.
He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this and
And
I'm like,
even in this one, he's so
He's such
like mysterious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching you, Humperdinck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's something going on with you, Jerry Dandridge. I don't trust you with my Catherine Hicks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and I love him in this movie. I wish he would return to the franchise. With his health, I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, we know that him and her are still together from Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. When it's at the end of Curse of Chucky, when Andy calls his mom and he says, "How's Norris doing? What's his? I can't think of his first name.
Mike.
How's Mike? Yep.
Yep.
How's Mike doing?
Yeah.
You know, and so like we do at least know that those two got a happy ending, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I feel like Alex still deserves his
Oh, he does.
happy ending.
You know, Andy. Yeah,
yeah.
he. Okay, this may be a spoiler for people, but in season 3, when you think that Chucky killed Andy,
Oh, he was
I-
about to just be done.
dude, I was so. I was like, ain't no way Andy going out like that, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Not after-
I was gonna shut the TV off.
After
I was
all
done.
these years.
I was like, dude, I'm connected to this. I've watched these movies since I was 7 years old.
Right.
Like,
Right.
You know, religiously. Since Bride of Chucky, I saw Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky in cinema. Obviously, Curse and Cult went straight to video.
Yeah.
I seen the TV show every day the day it aired. I didn't watch the remake in theater. She tried to get.
You ended up going with
No,
me.
I didn't. I watched it afterwards. You and Kenny went.
Yeah, I know, but we went the next day.
Nope. Never went and seen
I'm
it.
pretty sure we did. But
She,
okay.
we probably did because she's smarter than me.
I was like, you gotta go see it, and we went. We ended up going and seeing it.
Maybe.
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't want to.
I'm a Don Mancini
Yeah.
purist, so I was like, nope.
Sure.
They're going against Don's wishes.
And I was like,
will
just
not
give
do
it
it.
a chance. And
Yep. But you know, so when they killed Andy the way they did in the show with Chucky just getting on him and stabbing him, I was like, shut this off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shut this off right now. I'm
I was
done.
like, it's gonna be a dream. It has to be.
Yeah, I was like, and
There's
then
no
once it was
way
a
they're
dream,
doing
I was
that.
like,
Yeah.
don't you play with my feelings like that, Don Mancini.
Yeah.
And again, when we talk about Child's Play 3, my favorite in the franchise, we'll talk about how
Wow,
I want
okay.
Andy's story to end.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to hear this now. And that's not something you hear very often, that 3 is somebody's favorite in the franchise. So
I know.
I'm
Even
very
Don Mancini
curious.
hates
Yeah,
that
even
one.
Mancini hates it. I think
Yeah.
me, Cody Leach, and Hayden Cinema are
I
the
mean,
only 3 I've ever met.
I
Love Child's Play
love
3.
it. Like I
Yeah.
don't dislike it, but mine is Bride.
Bride's her favorite.
But Bride all the way. I love it.
Okay. Well, and I agree with almost everything you guys are saying. Brad Dourif, again, amazing. I think Alex Vincent's incredible. You know, I saw, and I don't know how much truth is to it or not, because Alex Vincent says that Tom Holland was amazing. Like, he has nothing bad to say about Tom Holland. But someone involved with the movie, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who I read the quote from, said that scene that you were talking about where, you know, Andy's crying in the psych ward, and, you know, Chucky's going to kill me and he's got his arms folded, that kind of thing. I read that Tom Holland got him to cry by telling him that his parents in real life were going to divorce because he hadn't been a very good kid. Now,
Jeez.
yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's harsh.
He's like, to get the scene, we've
Yep.
got to do whatever we got to do. Like,
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
I know. Dang. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But he does do an incredible job. And I like Chris Sarandon. I think Catherine Hicks is great in this. And like you were talking about from that very beginning where, you know, he brings her breakfast in bed, they feel like mother and son. I mean, it doesn't feel like people just trying to, you know, play a role. Like, they really seem like they're family.
Sets the
So
tray down and picks him up and starts tickling
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Doing real shit that moms do.
She even eats that
Right.
nasty ass
Yeah.
toast.
She picks it up with the butt. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. And then she says that she'll eat this later or something like
Yep.
that. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I love the cast. I like and I like the characters. I don't really think there's anybody. I mean, obviously, you're not supposed to like Charles Lee Ray, but there's sometimes you get horror movies where you have certain people, certain characters that you just don't like, and you want to see them get killed. I don't feel like there's any of those characters in this film. I pretty much like everybody in the movie. And then you like Chucky for different reasons. But yeah, I love the cast, love the characters. I think everything here is great. A few more behind the scenes things, production notes that I'll mention, and then we'll start walking through the plot a little bit. So, and a lot of this people already know. Again, it's a movie from the 1980s. It's kind of hard to find anything breaking or new about this, but Mancini was inspired by consumerism of the 1980s and the effects of marketing directed at children. And he was, of course, influenced by the Cabbage Patch Dolls, the movie's trilogy of terror, Magic, Poltergeist, as well as the character of Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. He liked the personality and the taunting that Freddy had and wanted to put that in as well. Um, the My Buddy dolls influenced the Chucky design, of course. Producer David Kirshner had wanted to make a film about a killer doll after reading the novel The Dollhouse Murders. So that's how Mancini got him behind this. The original script was titled Batteries Not Included. It was later changed to Bloody Buddy because there was already a film entitled Batteries Not Included. In the original, we talked about a little bit how they were kind of teasing you some on who was actually doing it, but uh, in the original script, so the Chucky doll had fake blood that would bleed if it was played with too roughly. And then Andy ended up mixing his blood with the doll's, and that's how the doll begins to come to life. It also gave a lot more hints that because of the divorce of his parents, Andy had built up rage and that he might be the killer. So the original script played with the idea of Andy being the killer much, much longer than what the movie actually did. But they changed that up a little bit because they felt like that made Andy unsympathetic. Kirshner didn't like the fact that giving that impression took away the sweet cuteness of Andy. So they started making some changes in there. Tom Holland came in and did rewrites. There was another gentleman, John Lafia, who also worked on the script and did some rewrites. And then eventually they got it all put together. But John Lithgow was considered for the role of Charles Lee Ray.
That would have been nuts.
I know.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting. Very
That would have been
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah. Uh, Someone named John Franklin was actually going to voice Chucky, and then Jessica Walter from The Exorcist was going to voice Chucky before Brad Dourif became available. Wind chills reached as low as 50 degrees below zero during filming. They had to get like separate rooms just to go and let everybody try to get warm between takes. Maggie's death was originally supposed to be an electrocution in the bathtub. The idea was scrapped and then later used for Tiffany in Bride of Chucky. Chucky, of course, controlled by 9 different puppeteers. They also had little persons acting, primarily Ed Gale, portraying Chucky in scenes where Chucky had to move around in wide shots. So just a few things there. Say that again.
I said, rest in peace, Ed.
Yes, absolutely.
We lost Ed this year.
Yeah. Yeah. So just a few things there. Like I said, not kind of hard to find anything that people don't already know about, but just a few things I wanted to mention. So before we get into the plot, anything else you guys want to say as far as behind the scenes stuff, performances, characters, anything?
No, I always loved the idea that the doll got broken and had the oil leaking out of it, so Andy mixed his blood with
Yes.
it. I always thought that would have been a cool idea. I see why the studio nixed it back in 1988,
Right.
but I always thought that was a really smart idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. All right, we'll get into the plot a little bit. So this movie opens up where we have Detective Norris chasing down Charles Lee Ray. Opening scene, I like it. It feels so much. This opening scene feels like an '80s action movie to me. Like this feels like I'm going to be watching Die Hard or Lethal Weapon or something like that. But it's still a fun scene. Any thoughts on the opening scene and the way the movie sets things up to get started?
Incredible.
Yeah, it's like right off the rip, like you're never gonna be bored. Like right off the rip, it's just like action.
Yes.
And then when you see the clouds coming in, and you're like,
That
"Oh
lightning,
shit!"
yeah, I love it.
I can't tell you how many times me and my sister played hide the soul when we were kids.
That's awesome.
We used to do that shit all the time, man.
That's funny. from there, we do get the intro to Andy and his mom. We've talked about that dynamic and how well that plays. We see where Andy has the obsession with the good guys. He's got the cereal, he's watching the cartoon, he wants the toys. And then we, Karen at work and talking with Maggie, her friend, and wanting so badly to get that doll. Um, Here, while there might not be anything that really just jumps out or stands up here in the beginning of the film, I think it's a good setup. And I think the thing that I think the performances is what's just amazing to me in the first opening here of this movie. Just how real everything seems, how genuine everything seems. Um, we were all kids that probably beg for things. We have had kids that beg for things and know how badly as parents we want to do whatever we can to get those things for them. So I like the fact that
Man,
there's
that
kind
good
of a
guy
realism
doll,
to this.
the good guy doll in the costume on the show, I'm like, fuck that thing. That's scarier than Chucky is. Like, that thing was terrifying.
Yeah.
You can own your own good guy doll. No thanks, I'm good.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want that either. But, I remember just the thing that reminds me this when I was a kid, I grew up a huge superhero fan, especially the DC heroes. And there was a line of action figures came out that were Kenner's superpowers. And I wanted all of these things so bad. There was Superman, Batman, all this stuff. And my parents did everything they could possibly do to make sure that I had every single one of them. So that's just kind of what this reminds me of, that how much a parent will do anything to try to get their kid what they want. And so I like the realism that we're getting here. I think everything looks good. And then we get our first death. We get Maggie's death. So talk to me about that scene. Your thoughts on Maggie's death, the way that all played out, the setup.
I mean, like, even before that, though, I do want to talk about how we have a very, very close attempted sexual assault scene.
Yeah.
And like, that's the first and only time this series. We played with it later on in Cult of Chucky.
Yeah.
And then people think I'm a monster. But I think that what I love about this part is with Aunt Maggie's death, you genuinely don't know what the hell just happened. You see her look, and she has that scared look on her face. Then it's hit with the hammer and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you see the little footprints in the flour, and is it flour that it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, you don't actually know who killed her right off the rip.
Right. And that's scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I think that's what's so special about it, is how scary this stuff really is.
Right. Yeah. And even though, again, it's the first time anybody sees this, well, they're, it's Chucky, you're suspecting Chucky, but I think they do a great job of making it look like it could be Andy there, because you don't see anything. You're really wondering what's going on. So I like the death. I think it plays out well. Again, the fact that you don't see a lot, but sometimes seeing less is better. I like the fact that they didn't try to do some, huge over the top death scene. I thought the way they did it was perfect. So I really like this opening kill as well. And then when the cops show up and you immediately see Andy becoming a suspect because of things. I think it, what else would the cops think?
At the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah. And what else would they think? Nobody thinks that dolls come to life. So, I just really like the way the story is playing out. Chucky we don't see it initially, but Chucky starts talking to Andy, and, Andy is telling his mom, and I think he even mentioned it to Detective Norris that, Chucky said something to him and has told him these things. And so, it gets you wondering, is this a child's imagination that's really over the top, or what is going on here? So again, first time you watch the movie, it's just the not knowing. It's playing out like a whodunit. And I like the vibe. I like the way the movie's going early on. We then get to the Eddie Caputo kill, and here's where I think you realize it's not Andy. I guess some people could still maybe think possibly so, but again, nothing special about this kill in my opinion, but it just makes Andy more of a suspect, and I still like the way the story is playing out. And this is going to be what results in him going into the psychiatric ward. Anything at this point standing out to you as we get a little further?
At this point, we really have evil that is Charles Lee right here, but we also have the evil that is Chicago.
Well, and our
Yes.
little
Everybody
boy
just let
is
this little
just
boy,
is just going
you know,
on
like
the train
on the subway
in
on the
Chicago,
subway
and
train,
yeah,
and walking with a doll over to this house, and that the house blows up.
Right.
Um, yeah, and how like we don't often talk about how evil Chucky really is in this first movie. Like
Right.
he puts Andy
in a lot of danger.
in a lot of danger for somebody that wants his body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I'm watching it now as an adult, and I'm like, why didn't he just take him? He's on the train tracks. Why didn't he just tell him lay down and take his soul right now? Like, why is it? He could have killed Eddie as Andy. You know, but
Flat.
then we
Yeah.
wouldn't have a movie.
Flat purposes.
So
Well, and at that
that's
point, I don't think at that point he knew that's what he had to do, right? Because he didn't find that out till later when he
so we
talked
talked
to
John.
the
Yeah.
voodoo guy. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's why. But yeah, he's not. Andy's kind of his way around to do things right now, and he doesn't really seem to care at all about Andy. So yeah. And so we'll move there. We start to get the dynamic. Well, first we have what probably the most well-known scene in the movie, but I still think this scene is so good. I still think it holds up so well. And I'm talking about the scene where Karen discovers that Chucky's alive. You mentioned it, Ashley. The scene where she realizes there's no batteries, in the doll. Uh, Such an incredible scene. I've seen this movie more times than I can count. Just watched it again a couple of days ago, and during that scene, I'm just sitting there smiling. I just absolutely love this scene. It's such a great classic scene, and first time you watch it, it's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah.
Talk to me, damn it, or I'm gonna throw you in the fire. You know,
Yeah,
like that whole scene is just epic.
yeah, such a great scene. Um, we do then start to see maybe a little bit of the dynamic beginning to develop between Detective Norris and Karen. I mean, still not quite yet because he's not believing exactly what she's saying, but you're beginning to see that forming. And then talk to me about your thoughts on the scene where Chucky attacks Detective Norris in the car.
I love this scene. I think this scene's really this again. He's not flat out going power for power.
Right.
You know, he's trying to kill Mike at this point, but he's not doing it in the traditional way of I'm just going to stab you. He's trying to. Chucky has a way of making sure that he feels your fear before he kills you. And I think
He's
that's
like
part of what
taunting
gives him
him.
his power, is
Right.
playing with his food, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I do. I think this is one of the most anxious parts of the whole movie. Like this is one of the most tension-built parts of the whole film to me. I
Right.
don't think this part gets talked about enough for how great it truly is.
Yeah, yeah, and like you just said, playing with his food because there's a point to where, well, first of all, we do start to pick up how strong Chucky is because the fact that he can get that knife to come to the seat is pretty impressive,
Yeah.
especially for a doll. But um, yeah, just the fact that once the car's wrecked there and Norris is upside down, I mean, it kind of seemed like it would be a little bit easier for him to go ahead and kill him at that point, and instead he's just running around the car, just fucking with him. So yeah, we get that side, and I can kind of see there where some of the inspiration came from, Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy. That's one of the things that they liked was how Freddy would torment, and you see Chucky doing the same thing here, but it's so much fun at the same time. I mean, it's so clever to have that happening and playing out this way. But yeah, I think it's an underrated scene. I don't think it gets talked about enough either. I really enjoy it. And then from there, we get John, the voodoo instructor, and Chucky finding out that he has to um, transfer his soul into the first person that he revealed himself to. But the thing that I want to know what you think about is how about the way Chucky kills John? That voodoo doll thing and breaking his legs and shit, that's pretty rough, right?
My
When
second,
he's
my second
snapping,
favorite death in the whole
when you
franchise.
hear his limbs snapping, it's
You're an
so,
abomination.
Yes, it's so
Yes.
horribly
I
great.
fucking
Yes,
love this
it's,
scene.
yes.
I wish if there's,
Brutal. It's
if
brutal.
there's
It is.
one thing I could change about this franchise, and it's not even a huge deal. I wish we could have had more scenes like this throughout the franchise.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this is my second favorite kill in the whole franchise.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's so powerful and it's so scary.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, when we were kids, we were like voodoo dolls and quicksand. One of those
Yes.
things are gonna kill me someday.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
to see a voodoo doll actually used in a horror movie by my toy, fuck,
Right.
man, that was terrifying. So yeah, I think that brilliant death. you shouldn't tell your customers where you put these things, John.
Yeah,
Which is weird that he does have a voodoo doll of himself.
Right.
I
Take a break
agree.
there, John.
It's kind of
Um,
strange, but
but like, and again, he's totally playing with John. He
right.
doesn't just come in and kill him. He wants to watch him suffer. He gets that orgasmic pleasure out of watching the fear in his victim's eyes. Um, and so yeah, and then once he stabs it,
Yeah,
and it's just like, gosh, and he doesn't kill him. He's sitting there bleeding out when they find
right.
kill the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Just their
yeah,
suffering.
yeah. I agree. It is such a great a great kill. I love it as well, and yeah, probably doesn't get enough attention either. I can see how that would be one of your favorite kills in the whole franchise because it's so brutal. I mean, it really is just so brutal and done so well. Um, and you see, like you said earlier, how evil Chucky really is. And so, yeah, from there, then Chucky, takes off. Of course, Detective Norris and Karen end up finding John as he's dying. He tells them that, they have to destroy the heart. Chucky ends up at the psych ward, and there we get the scene that, we were talking about earlier where Andy's crying, and, Andy knows Chucky's there, and he's terrified that Chucky's going to kill him. Such a, it's such a powerful
once
scene.
again,
Yeah.
Chucky could just go in and kill him,
Yeah.
but he kills the doctor instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a pretty brutal way. I mean, that's a pretty rough kill.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I don't know, maybe it doesn't look quite as good. That I guess could be one area where some of the effects don't hold up, but I still think it looks fine.
I'll take that over a shitty CGI kill every day.
Absolutely. Yeah,
The
I completely
cut,
agree.
put black on him, roll it. I'll
Yeah.
take that every day, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It gave somebody a job, and it doesn't look god. I mean, it doesn't look great,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look god awful either.
No,
It's
it
not one of those
doesn't.
ones where you watch it now and you're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't like that.
Yeah, but it's not like you said, it's not awful, and it's not big enough to take away from the movie. It's just
Right.
not one of the better kills, but it's still pretty good. Andy manages to take off and get home, and then Chucky also follows him there. Detective Norris and Karen are showing up there, and we finally
One of
get
the best parts of the movies right here.
The elevator.
When Chucky's in the elevator,
Yes.
and he's like, ugly now. Fuck you.
yeah, it's a great scene, and I had forgot about that, and seriously laughed out loud about it the other night. I had totally forgot about that part. So yeah, that is a great scene because there you kind of get some of Chucky's humor, which is one of the great things about Chucky is the fact that you do get the humor as well thrown on top of it. And then we finally get to the first time of Hide the Soul being played. That gets played much more in some of the other films, but here's where he's attempting it here, and also pretty creepy. Before Karen and Detective Norris show up, and then we just get towards the finale here, just several different attempts to kill Chucky that just aren't working. He's been burned, which I love the scene where he's in the fireplace.
And then he's walking after he's been scorched.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
It is.
This is, you can tell it's a little person in the costume.
Yeah.
Right.
But it looks damn good.
It's terrifying.
They
Like
got
if
that-
you thought he was terrifying before, now
Yeah.
that he's all
And they got that
crispy,
low angle shot, so
Yeah.
you can see him. So it looks like he's a giant as he's walking. Because Andy's on the ground crawling,
Yeah.
and he just
Right.
looks larger than life at this point because of the camera angle, which obviously they did on purpose to give him this bigger feel at this moment. And,
Yeah.
it works to perfection, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's even scarier now.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it is a great scene, and they, we get several different things. We get the Shining throwback there with the bathroom for a few moments. You get things like that happening. But yeah, just I think this particular part here is Chucky is legitimately scary, and then you just get kind of fun attempts to kill him that aren't quite working. But yeah, it's just it's still so enjoyable. The one thing that I really like about this movie is I don't feel like there's no lag in this movie. We jumped right in from the very beginning, and all the way through something is happening. So you're not getting a lot of dragging dull moments. I mean, it keeps you invested the entire time, I feel like. So yeah, I really enjoy these. We do get the one more attack there. The scene where he's in the hallway coming towards them, and she shoots off. I think she shoots off an arm and a head and the leg, and he just keeps coming. He's like the Terminator now at this point because he's even crawling towards her.
In all different parts.
Pieces.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the kids over there like, get him! Fuck him!
Yeah,
Because he comes
yeah,
through the vent
Yeah.
and he grabs the other cop by the
yes,
neck.
yeah. It's just, and again, they're showing Chucky's strength because, yeah, he's able to hold on to the guy pretty easily. So, yeah,
Mhm.
another
We
great
also get one
scene.
of the corniest line deliveries of any movie at this point.
With the cop.
After they shoot Chucky, and Norris is like, "You believe me now?" And the other cop's like, "I do,
But
but
no,
who's
who's
gonna
gonna
believe
believe
us?"
us? Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
It's kind of true though.
it is true, but it's just the way the line's delivered. You're like,
Yeah.
"Ah, man, come on!" Like,
yeah,
I do, but who's gonna believe
Yeah.
yeah,
us?
yeah.
And
That's
then we
that's
end on a
definitely,
TV sitcom freeze frame of Andy.
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Which is, yeah. I mean, it's still kind of interesting, but it's definitely. I think we show the time. We show the '80s there towards the
Oh
end with
yeah.
Yeah.
the extra
Oh
lines
yeah.
and those shots and that kind of stuff. That's
The
just,
John Hughes
yes,
ending.
yeah, like Breakfast Club. Yeah, definitely some '80s stuff there. But yeah, that's. I mean, and then that's it. Andy looks back at Chucky as it ends. Um, I think it was a hell of a ride. I absolutely still. I mean, 1988 was a long time ago. I can't count how many times I've seen this movie, but I still don't get bored with it. I still find myself laughing at things that happen in it. I still find myself loving the kills. I just think it holds up so incredibly well. And, in my opinion, it's still better than a lot of the stuff we get today. I
Oh,
personally
for
would
sure.
rather, and I like Art the Clown. I like the Terrifier movies, but I still think myself, I'd rather go back and watch this. Like I want to watch, Child's Play from '88 or um, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, even Halloween. Sorry, but I would
You
rather
don't
just
have
go
to
back and watch
apologize.
that stuff than the new stuff is fine, but it just doesn't. This time frame,
They
these
need
movies
to
that were
they
coming out
need
were
to
so
learn how to
amazing.
just be slashers again. They
Yeah.
try to.
Yes,
I mean, when I'm watching Terrifier 2, I don't want to sit through a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, not for a slasher, for
Dude,
sure.
right.
give me an hour 15, hour 30 max, and we'll
Yeah,
be fine. I think that they try nowadays to please too many different people all at once,
I think
and
so.
throw so many moving gears in there. Simpler. Sometimes the simplest thing is the best. Give me a killer doll that wants to kill people, and that's it.
Hmm.
Why?
Yeah,
Because he was a strangler in life and he died and he swore revenge.
Right.
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah,
He
absolutely.
wasn't wronged as a kid. He wasn't bullied as a kid. His
His
mom
mom
wasn't
wasn't
a
a stripper.
stripper.
Yeah,
Shitty movies will
He
do
didn't
stuff like
drown in a
that.
lake.
Shitty franchises will make mom strippers, and that's why the kid's evil. Not because he has
Or,
blackest eyes or anything.
no.
It's just because his mom was
yeah.
a
I,
Or
I
stripper.
mean,
when,
I
when
don't
your
know
franchise
that.
goes to space. That's
I
for
don't know
sure.
that shitty franchises do that. I think questionable directors do that.
Hold on, what did you just say?
When your franchise goes to space.
I
That's
will crawl over this table and skull fuck you.
dang.
Get it? That's another Rob Zombie
Yeah,
Halloween
I
line
get
because
it.
that movie
And
sucks.
I agree, it does.
No, that
I
movie's.
don't like I don't like
I do
those
gotta
ones.
say, to be fair, in all honesty, I think I like Rob Zombie's Halloween more than most people do. I really the theatrical cut. Hate the
Okay.
director's cut. Anything with that type of sexual assault, I'm completely out.
Yeah.
But the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween, you take out that first act, and I think that movie's phenomenal.
You know why? Because it's 1978, retold. That's why.
Damn, I thought you were gonna drop another word on me. I was like, did you really just say that word? Retold. I was like, I can't believe you said that. Like, I was
Yeah.
in shock for a second. I was like, did you really say that? Was unexpected. You never say stuff like that. My heart just stopped.
I said retold.
I know, but at first when you were like, it's because it's 1978, retold. I was like, hit you with the.
But she makes a good point, and not to make this about Halloween all of a sudden. I liked Rob Zombies the first time I saw it. I really enjoyed it. I think maybe just because it was a little bit different at the beginning and getting. I don't think we needed the backstory, but okay. By that point, the franchise had done a lot, so that was okay. I really liked it the first time. The more I watch it, the less I like it, and that second one bothers me a lot. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't like the second one at all.
but
He's
Huh?
repetitive also.
yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
that. We got to reel this back in
He's
quickly.
gonna get it later.
Yeah, I have a feeling I might run into a door or trip over a fan later on tonight.
I'm pulling out Michael Myers doll again.
Yeah. What? Wait, what? What the fuck? What's happening?
I know.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's funny because people like genuinely think I hate Halloween. It really is just a running joke. I think the Halloween movies are fine.
Why would they not think that? That is your life's purpose is to put it down every day.
The only two movies I really, really, really dislike in that franchise
Are 2 and 6.
are not counting Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Halloween 2 I think is slow and boring, and Halloween 6 I think is just stupid and ridiculous. Besides that, I love Halloween 3. I adore Halloween 4. Halloween H2O is probably in my top 20 favorite movies of all time. Halloween 2018 might be my favorite in the whole franchise. Like, that's how much I like that movie.
Interesting.
I just really Michael Myers is the prototype of a slasher, and Halloween is the prototype of a slasher movie.
Right.
They did in 1978 what everybody tries to do now. They made your final girl just as important as your villain, and your villain just as important as your final girl. If that movie would have been a little less boring, I think it could be the perfect movie. In 1978, it was
Friday the 13th.
The first Friday the 13th is garbage.
It's boring. They literally make coffee for 5 minutes.
Jason is better than Michael. He's more.
It wasn't even
brutal.
Jason in the first one.
He's more brutal. He uses more weapons. He's got a way cooler mask.
All right, that's not why we're here.
I like them both. I like Jason and Michael both. I'm very curious now, but I'm going to come back to that in just a minute because I do want to get some thoughts. Let's wrap up Child's Play, and then I want to come back and ask you something. So for you both then, I want to know from both of you. For Child's Play 1988, score of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
7.
I'm going to say 7.5. Can I do halves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'll say 7.5.
I would say, because I think a 70% is about where I would have it. It's not my favorite in this franchise.
It's not my favorite
but
either,
it's in my top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And without it, we don't have the rest of the franchise.
Right.
And the problems I have with it are so minute that it's not like, a 7 for me is high.
Okay.
For sure.
For me, I'm very critical when it comes to film. I've given one movie, and the whole time we've done Sledgehammer Horror, I've given one movie, because we usually go 1 to 5 skulls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've given one movie a 5-skull rating, and that was Summer of '84. That's the only movie I've given a 5-skull rating. That's the only. My first horror movie, my favorite horror movie, House, did not get a 5-skull.
Yeah.
I think Summer of '84 is the best horror movie that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But 7 for me is very, very high. The only one, I think there's maybe 2 of these in the whole franchise that would rank higher, and we'll talk about them in the next couple weeks, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that if you would have left Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 as that trilogy, it would have been the best trilogy of all time. I'm counting the original Star Wars. I'm counting, any trilogy.
Okay.
I think Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 would have been the perfect, but we wouldn't have gotten Bride of Chucky, which really reinvented this franchise.
Absolutely.
So we need Bride of Chucky.
I mean,
but if you take those movies
Jennifer
away,
Tilly,
and again, I would not trade that for anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But if this would have ended with 1, 2, and 3, it would have been the best trilogy ever. I would put this above Back to the Future as a trilogy.
Yeah.
And Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
But 1, 2, and 3, the consistency of them, the fear of them, the way that they're able to do the same things but make it different so it doesn't feel like you're watching a recycled version of the movie you just watched. It's so brilliant.
Yeah.
And we don't need flashbacks every 5 seconds to what happened in the last movie.
They just show they know that your audience is smarter than that. Like,
Right.
We know
right.
what
And that's
happened.
a problem we have with a lot of movies that come out now. Like,
You don't need to give us the first movie and half of this movie.
They did that with the new Happy Gilmore film.
Yeah.
They did that with the new Strangers Chapter 2. Like, I've seen the other one. I do not have to sit here and watch you hold my hand and give me every flashback of everything you're talking about.
Just trust that we're smart enough to know what's going on.
Trust your audience. If they're here to watch part 2, odds are they've seen part 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Trust your audience is smart enough. And Child's Play has always done that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Child's Play has always trusted their audience to know how intelligent their audience is.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But I do have a question now. You saying all that, I'm just very curious your take on something, because I agree with everything you're saying 100%. First 4, at least the first 4, maybe 5 of the Friday the 13th movies. That's how we start those films, is by going back and showing you everything that happened in the previous ones.
Yeah.
Does that bother you from Friday the 13th?
Very badly.
Okay.
Very bad. You know that. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. It really, really irritates me because, like I said, as a Friday the 13th fan especially, if I'm watching Friday the 13th Part 4, I've seen 1 through 3. I'm not
Yeah.
going to come into the franchise at 4.
Right.
Where I can be a little more forgiving in the Friday the 13th franchise, it still bothers me. I still hate it. With the exception of 4, 5, and 6. Those are a continued story.
Sure.
I look at every Friday the 13th as its own film.
Okay.
I don't think that they are all. You don't have to watch Part 1 to understand Part 7.
Sure.
They could be their own films, with the exception of the Jarvis trilogy, which again I think is brilliant. But I've always, it doesn't matter what the movie is, don't give me flashbacks to the previous film. I've seen it.
Okay.
You know, in an instance like that, tell, don't show. You know,
Okay.
The Jaws effect. Don't show Bruce the shark.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't
Yeah.
need to see everything in order
Right.
to know. Even if you're talking about something that happened in the last movie, you don't need to show me on the screen what it was. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Right.
For plot purposes and characters discussing it, that's fine. But you don't have to show me it. That's padding time to make your movie longer. And there's very, very big things that annoy me in film. That being one of them. Fade outs.
I knew you were going to say that.
I hate fade outs. I think
Yeah.
it's lazy writing. And the other thing, we were just talking about it today on our review that you guys should go check out. Sledgehammer reviews The Drowned. When they do something in a movie for the audience that doesn't make sense plot-wise in the movie.
Well, they try to trick your audience.
Yeah, you try to
Yeah.
trick your audience, but it doesn't make sense in the plot in the long run.
Yeah.
Like, why would this person do this except for to trick us to think they were the bad person or the good person?
Yeah.
When it doesn't logically make sense with the plot and it's thrown in there just to try to fool the audience, that irritates me. That type of breaking of the fourth wall just really irks me so bad. Because again, it goes back to insulting your audience.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're trying to make me feel stupid later in the movie. Like, why did you do that if that person didn't have to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
under a critical lens, those are things that just really, really bother me as Ken Sledge, the horror movie critic. Those
Okay.
are like 3 things that will bother the hell out of me. And not even horror movies. When like I said, we just talked about Happy Gilmore 2. That was one of my biggest complaints with Happy Gilmore 2. I love Happy Gilmore. I quote Happy Gilmore
Yeah.
all the time.
But
Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore
so
and the
much
Water
of
Boy.
The first movie.
Yeah, but she's so much of the first movie, and it's like Happy Gilmore 2 is like flashback, cameo, flashback,
Yeah.
cameo. And I'm like, I want to watch this movie because I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I want to watch this movie because I love Christopher McGavin. I need to see me some more Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Anytime we play mini golf, at one point throughout that day, you're guaranteed I'm going to go, pow, Shooter McGavin. You know, like it's going to happen if I'm playing mini golf. So
Yeah, that's why we quit playing.
that's why we
again.
quit playing, yeah. So yeah, like it's like I said, as a critic, those are the type of things. I think everybody, you know, you're a critic. You know, everybody in this world of critiquing has those couple things that really,
Yeah.
really bothers them.
Right.
And those are the big 3 for me: flashbacks. I guess you could add fake outs to that.
Yeah.
Fade outs.
Scream 4.
Yeah, fuck Scream 4. Flashbacks, fade outs, and making your audience, you know, putting in plot contrivances for your audience.
Yeah.
No, there's no reason for that to me. Again, it's just there to make your audience look stupid, and
Right.
that pisses me off.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100% there. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And the flashback stuff, I've heard a lot of people complain about that. I don't necessarily care for it. It doesn't bother me either. I'm just like, okay, whatever, that's fine. It really doesn't bother me, but I don't need it also. But yeah, I'm very curious then as we continue to go through this franchise, because I'm one of those people, maybe it's my age, I really don't know. I'm 53 years old. And I find myself most of the time, especially these big franchises, I lean so much towards the originals. I absolutely love this movie. I think it is almost flawless. Yeah, there are a few nitpicks here and there, but they're so minor. I like a lot of the rest of the franchise. In fact, I think throughout this whole franchise, there's only one movie that I'm not that big on. And it's not terrible. I could skip it and be okay. But I really enjoy the rest of it. But this movie, to me, I happen to be in that mindset. I just talked about A Nightmare on Elm Street with Aaron from A&B Horror Movies. And, you know, if we wouldn't have got that first one, I love Freddy, but if we wouldn't have got that first one, we wouldn't have gotten anything else. And that always causes me to, for some reason, lean towards the first one. As far as this entire franchise, probably this one and Bride are my 2 favorites. But for me, I try so hard Since I do 1 out of 10, uh, you can go back through my channel and you don't hear me give a lot of tens. I feel like until about my last 3 or 4 episodes, because I've been covering originals like Texas Chainsaw Massacre from '74, Black Christmas from '74. Um, Again, I love Halloween '78.
Yes.
These movies are tens to me, and the rest of the franchise is just trying to get there. And I think I
Yeah.
feel the same way about Child's Play from '84 or from '88. I don't think I would give it a 10, but I would give it a 9. I really
Yeah, that's
love
fair.
this movie. I think it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan. Um, yeah. Now you mentioned, and I won't keep you guys for too much longer. Again, I really appreciate you coming on here, but you were telling us you got a chance to speak your piece on Halloween, what you liked and what you didn't like, and you talked about Friday the 13th for a minute. But Ashley's a Halloween fan. I want to know what her favorites in the Halloween franchise are.
My favorites in the Halloween franchise. Um, so 78 is, don't be going
No.
away.
No.
78 is my favorite. I also lost my father, and he introduced me to the Halloween franchise, and I think that's maybe why it's so dear to me.
Okay.
But yes, 78 is my number one. This is a very uh, what do you call that? Hot take, but I love Resurrection. It's like
Okay.
that's one of my comfort movies. I remember being a teenager and watching it like in the theater with my best friends. So that's something that is definitely a comfort
I'll
to
never
me.
make jokes and sleeping shit about Randy.
Yeah, no. He
Randy
literally
was her dad.
yeah, he was
And,
my dad, and he would dress up like
like Michael.
Michael all,
Oh
every
wow.
Halloween, and he would
Yeah.
go. He was like the funny guy that dresses up like Michael and like does silly stuff. Like that was my dad. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
before
See, and
TikTok.
she pulls
That's
this
awesome.
shit out, so I can't make fun of it anymore.
Yeah,
It bullshit.
exactly, exactly.
I had nothing but love, respect, and admiration
Yeah,
for Randy.
so-
He
Oh,
was
that is awesome.
the greatest. He was
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, that is
Um,
very cool.
but yeah, and H2O. I love all the different yeah, the timelines for different reasons. Like I don't know that I could pick one that I love more.
Well, let's ask you if you had to pick one Halloween timeline, which one would you pick?
Probably 1 through like 6.
Oh, so 1, 4, 5, and 6.
I think so. Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't. Shut up. I don't know, but I do like the new timeline too. But yeah, that one. Like I don't know. That one I really love.
I really thought you were gonna go 1 H2O Resurrection. I thought that was the route you were gonna go.
I like that one. It's really hard. It's like picking your favorite child.
Oh, then I'll pick it right now. For me, it would be 1, and as much of a hot take as this is, it would be 1, and then the Blumhouse trilogy for me. 1 to
Okay.
18
Yeah.
kills ends. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Ends as a ending of that trilogy, I
Right.
think Halloween Ends is a brilliant movie. It's just a really shitty end of that trilogy.
Yeah.
2018, I was blown away by. Like
So
I
good.
was so.
So fucking good.
I just remember leaving the theater, and
Oh,
I was
shit.
just so happy.
I just said it was so good. Hey, can you cut that part where I said Halloween trilogy?
Send that to me.
Hey, can we cut
I need
that
some
part out?
leeway.
Shit.
Okay.
Put that
No,
on
I
the
just
blooper reel.
I just really like there's so many takes on Halloween because of the different timelines and things like that. I like to hear what, different people think about different things. And, I mean, I have my own thoughts and I'll try not to spoil too much because I'll be going through this whole franchise. But I'm one of the people, and I know you're about to disagree with me big time, Ken. Halloween 2 is so underappreciated, in my opinion. I think that's a really good sequel. He's never coming on my channel again now, I know. But I like Halloween 2.
What was that? Oh, yes, there. Yeah.
But as far as my favorite timeline, I probably would agree with you, Ashley. I'm not a huge fan of 6, but I like 1. I love 1. I like 2, and I like 4 and 5. So
I do too.
I'm a fan of that time frame.
I almost want them to go
If they were going to
back
continue,
and
they need to pick up right
continue
where
that timeline.
they should pick up. No, fuck that. They need to erase 6 and pick up right at the end of 5.
That's what I'm saying. Where
with-
she's
Yeah.
Yeah, where
the
Jamie
clown mask, and
is,
she's in the clown
where
suit.
Jamie Lloyd is the bad. Like years later, brings Danielle Harris back as an adult, and now it's years later. She's in a mental
And
asylum.
I mean, she's already said she would do it. She
Yeah.
would be a part of it again.
Right.
If they were going to redo anything Halloween, I'm with you 100%. That's what they should do. Pick up where 5 ended.
Yeah.
Don't retcon that ending like they did in the garbage can that is Halloween 6. But pick up right where that left off X amount of years later with Danielle Harris. We need Danielle Harris.
I completely agree.
To come back and reprise her role as Jamie Lloyd. And I
Yeah.
think that's another reason I hate 6 is recasting Danielle Harris. Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay the money, get the woman. She deserved it.
I completely agree with you. And as far as the Blumhouse trilogy, I liked 2018. I thought it was amazing. Halloween Kills had some things that annoyed me, but overall I enjoyed it. I am not a fan of Halloween Ends. My take on Halloween Ends is that would have been an outstanding movie if it wasn't a Halloween movie, but it just doesn't fit as a Halloween movie for me.
I feel
But
about that the same as I do about 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
completely agree.
I love the movie, but it doesn't belong in the franchise.
See, I love that movie even as a Halloween film. I just despise it as the end of that trilogy.
Yeah.
Like that. Now, if Corey Cunningham would have been a character in 2018 in Kills and then became a bigger character in this one, I'm telling you, even compared to the very first Halloween 78, Halloween Ends has the best opening in this franchise.
Yeah.
The opening is the best. I like it more than the opening of
I
Halloween
think
78.
kind of it was like a letdown after that, though. Like
Yeah.
you.
The first time we seen it, she like cried.
I literally cried. I was so upset because I was like, "This isn't what I was promised."
We were told
Right.
the epic conclusion of Laurie and Michael.
And Michael's
Yeah.
can sue her for most of the time, like weak. Like what? What?
Right.
Printing on a young man.
He was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, I literally was like in a depression. I was like, "I want to talk about it."
Yeah.
We didn't even. I don't think we ever did a review for Halloween Ends.
We didn't. Like
She was
it
like, "I'm gonna
took
beat the
me-
shit out of it."
It
And there's
took
no
me
way I can
so
review it.
long to like come around and take it for what it was.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. I think that, and we'll get ready to wrap it up, but I don't know. I've told people several times, I don't think you realize though how much the Blumhouse trilogy resembles the first 3 movies, because the first one, the 78 film and the 2018 film, both outstanding, both did their thing. Halloween 2, Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital most of the time. Halloween Kills, Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital most of the time. Halloween 3 is not about Michael Myers. Halloween Ends is not about Michael Myers. I think that's what bothers me for the same reason. It bothers me for the same reason. It's just not what I wanted to end that. So, but I mean, I don't think that part may be over, but we'll get more Halloween somewhere down the road. We will. And I'm looking forward to it.
It's
So,
never over.
yeah.
Hope they
So.
cast a black trans actor as Michael just to piss off everybody. Just to
My
piss everyone off.
gosh. First time I've ever heard that ever. So interesting. Thank you for bringing the hot take.
I mean, I don't know. I just love inclusivity. I love how we had a non-binary person play Pinhead.
Yeah.
I thought that Jamie Clayton was fucking brilliant, and everybody lost their fucking mind over it. Everybody was so pissed, and I was like, dude, give them a chance. They're gonna kill it. And sure enough, Jamie Clayton was the best part of
Yeah,
the
she did a great job.
movie.
Yeah.
And so, like, I love when we see people like that come in and do their role and absolutely crush it, and everybody still find a reason to be pissy about it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for, man.
Got it.
If we could continue Halloween in any way, though, if anybody out there is listening, hey, Halloween gods, give us Danielle Harris as Jamie Lloyd one more time.
100%.
Ash and I will help fund it.
We'll take back bottles.
Yeah, we'll take back bottles. I'll sell my kids' shoes.
Nobody wants those sticky shoes.
I don't know. I got a candle right there. I'll get a candle.
You're willing to do anything. I get it.
Yeah, whatever it takes. We'll pull out
No.
all the stops. I'll even
That
turn the
is
couch
awesome.
over and get some change.
Very cool. All right. Well, again, Ken, Ashley, thank you all so much for coming on. Before we get out of here, go ahead and take a moment again to mention your channel, anything that you have coming up that you want to promote, feel free.
You're the promoter.
I mean, right now is the busy time of year. I can tell you that on Halloween Day, we will be releasing our review for VHS Halloween. November 1st, the very next day, we will be releasing our review. Our first time doing a non-horror movie.
Okay.
We'll be releasing our review of Coco, the Disney Pixar film, because it's horror adjacent, it's gateway horror, and it takes
it's
place.
the Day of the Dead.
It's Day of the Dead. It
Yeah.
takes place on Day of the Muertos. So why not release it on Day of the Dead? We got some pretty fun stuff planned for that episode too.
Yeah.
And that's a movie I'm a very, very big fan of. Very big fan of. And then November 2nd, Ashley's Villain of the Month episode comes out. Pretty much throughout the rest of October into the beginning of November, there'll probably be a new video every day.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This is our busy time of year. We're trying to put out at least some semblance of at least one video a day for all of October and the beginning of November.
That's awesome.
You want to spoil who the Villain of the Month is for Sean's episode?
For
November?
Who is it?
John Carver.
Oh yeah, I forgot already. Yeah, John Carver.
From Thanksgiving.
Oh,
We don't
wow.
have-
Okay.
We don't have very many Thanksgiving.
And we were not doing the turkey from
No.
Thanksgiving.
No, we were
Not
not.
happening. People, please stop emailing us, asking us to do anything Thanksgiving on the channel. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
So we thought John Carver would be the best choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
For Villain of the Month for November. So Ashley will be writing that soon. I'm very excited to. That's another one. Ashley writes it, records it, and she's like, "Edit this.
Yeah, but yeah, make
Stable
me
boy.
look cool.
Edit this, stable boy, as you wish." So yeah, I'm very excited to see that. And like I said, from pretty much now till mid-November, you'll probably be getting a video every day.
Very cool.
It's just like I said, this is the busy time of year, and we have so much fun doing this. So
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, yes, definitely. If you don't already, then definitely check out Sledgehammer Horror. Yeah, some great stuff that they put out. For what I've got coming up here, just a few days, I will be on here with Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror. We're going to be talking about Candyman, the first Candyman film. They are then coming back again, back-to-back episodes, as we're going to talk about the original Scream from 1996. And then I believe actually the end of October, another guest coming on for the first time, Mike from Mike and Serial, is going to come on, and we're actually going to talk Art the Clown and
we love
Terrifier.
Mike.
So yeah,
Nice.
so he'll be on with me at the end of the month.
Some time with Mike and Ashes to Ashes at a Horror Hound.
Yep.
Oh wow, okay, very cool.
Love
Yeah,
Mike,
he'll
man. When you get Mike on, tell him that Ken and Ashley from Sledgehammer Horror said hello. We love it.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to come on, and we're going to talk Art the Clown and Terrifier and what his place is and all this slasher stuff. So yeah, fun stuff coming up. Definitely looking forward to it. Already looking forward to having you guys back in the future to talk about Child's Play 2. But yeah, again, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Everybody out there, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. Like the video today and leave me some comments. I want to know what you think about Chucky, what you think about Child's Play. Are we spot on, or are we all out of our minds? So yeah, just let me know what you think. And yeah, follow me on social media.
So you better hit that like button.
That's
You better
right.
hit that subscribe button, or it's coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And follow me on social media, pretty much on everything out there. Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, everything. So, yep, just search for Sean's Horror Corner and you will find it. Thank everybody again so much for watching. Thank you again to my guest. I will see you soon.